So before we start, I want to say that I'm giving Breath of the Wild a solid 5 out of 7. It's my own personal scale that I came up with all on my own. And what it means is that it's the best game ever made, except for all the games that are better than it. So I hope that'll be added to Metacritic, and hopefully it won't bring down the overall score any further. Because after all, that would be a tragedy of the highest proportion for a game of such cultural importance and such, I think it's fair to say, overwhelming quality that all other games clearly pale in comparison. So there's my official review. I've not played it, I don't even own a Switch or a Wii U, but I hope you agree with the score that I've given. Okay, we've done the sarcastic stupid bit, let's talk about reviews for a minute, because the backlash to Jim Sterling's 7 out of 10 for Breath of the Wild was both hilarious and baffling. For many different reasons. I would firstly say that no one in the history of ever has looked at Metacritic when deciding to buy a game and gone, oh, well, it only got 97 out of 100. It's clearly a piece of shit and not worthy of my time. No one's done that. Literally no one. They might have gone to Metacritic and seen fucking 30 out of 100 and gone, whoa, that's not nearly as good as it looks. But 97 out of 100? No, that's not exactly a deal breaker. And to those people who, I believe it might even be the same person in the comment I read, it was like, this will negatively affect Nintendo's marketing. Do you want to know what Nintendo's marketing is for Breath of the Wild? It's, look, a new Zelda game. That's their marketing. They don't need any other fucking marketing. It's Nintendo. They don't give a shit. They've never given a shit. They just do whatever the fuck they want, whenever they want, which is why the Wii U had an entire life cycle without a new Zelda game, and then right when the Switch came out, they just went, oh, well, we'll just stick it on this one, it's fine. They don't care about the fucking Metacritic score. It's got 10s out of 10s for days. A 7 out of 10 is not going to ruin the game's fucking reputation, is it? Chill out, god damn. But by far the most annoying thing that I saw repeated so many times in reference to that review was people going, well, I think Jim should have taken a more objective look. Oh, if you can't write reviews objectively, don't do a review. Reviews are supposed to be objective. And so on and so on. It was a lot of basically the same message, was that reviews should be objective. They are not subjective, they are objective. To that I say, you're fucking crazy. What are you talking about? Reviews have never, ever been objective. Never. You cannot objectively review a game. In fact, let's review a game right now. Let's just make up a game. The title is To Be Decided. That's actually not a bad title. It is a terrible title for a game. Let's review it objectively. Here are the objective things that you can say about the title To Be Decided. It can run at 4K resolution. It can do more than 60 FPS. It has a list of graphics options that you can see before you, and each of these can be altered however you desire. It has voice acting. It has music. These two things can be controlled independently in terms of volume. It runs smoothly because the software I'm running tells me that it is a solid 60 frames a second right now, which is what it's been set to with vertical sync on. There is 20 hours worth of content, roughly speaking, but there can be a bit more or a bit less depending on how you play the game. There are guns. It is in third person. There's a skill tree. There, that's it. Now you might be saying to yourself, but Kiri, that doesn't tell me whether the game's any good. That doesn't tell me about the gameplay. It doesn't tell me whether the guns feel good, whether it looks good, whether it sounds good, whether the music is good, whether the voice acting is good, whether the lip syncing is good. It doesn't tell me what the environments are like. It doesn't tell me whether the environments are enjoyable or not. It doesn't even tell me what sort of content is encapsulated in the 20 hours as to whether it's enjoyable. No, because those are all fucking subjective opinions. They are not objective, they are subjective. They change depending on the person playing the game. That is why no review ever is going to be objective. You cannot tell someone whether a game is good or whether a game is bad without it being coloured by your opinion, because your opinion is what dictates that answer. For instance, let's look at a really good example for this, personally, for me. The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 is critically acclaimed. People fucking love it. They cannot get enough of The Witcher 3. There are people with literal months of time in that game. And you know what? I've played it for... You know what? I can check. I can find out. No, I can't find out because it's not even installed. I don't even have The Witcher 3 installed anymore. I uninstalled it. But I reckon I had maybe about 8 hours in that game. And I didn't hate it. But it was okay. I'll say it. It was okay. I thought at the time I was enjoying it, but every time I switched that game off, I had no compulsion to play it again. I had to force myself every time to load up The Witcher 3 to play it, because everyone kept telling me it was great. Everyone kept telling me it was perfect. It was like the best RPG ever made. And whilst I was playing it, I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. Yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah, I really like the side quest. They've done this really well. I was filled with admiration for the technical aspects of the game. I thought the size of it was incredible. The side quests were incredible. They were really well done. The voice acting was really good. The fact that you had so much to do was really impressive. But I never wanted to play it. I just didn't want to play the game. But does that make it bad? No. It doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make the game bad. It doesn't make it shit. It doesn't mean that it is somehow worth less because I personally didn't find it engaging enough to want to go back to. Because that's not how that works. My subjective feeling, my opinion of that was that it had technical brilliance, but I just couldn't get into it, and it wasn't a game that I wanted to play. Does that invalidate the guy who spends 150 hours on the game in the first, let's say 2 months it comes out? That'd be a bit of an ask, but it is doable. No, of course it doesn't. It makes no difference to that at all. And this is the thing that always gets me. People demand opinions. They demand to be told whether a game is good. They demand to be told whether a game is fun to play, whether it's engaging, whether it's long enough, whether there's enough to do, whether the content is of a certain quality. And yet, as soon as someone says, personally, for me, I didn't enjoy it, I didn't find it engaging, I didn't find the content that good, they immediately lose their shit. It's like, oh, well, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're an idiot. And in fact, just on that note, let's bring up the whole thing, the whole hilarious and completely fucking pointless practice of when someone reviews a game that you really like. And this happened so many times on Jim Sterling's review of Breath of the Wild. I saw so many people going, oh, he gave this game 7 out of 10, but he gave this game 9 out of 10. Proof that you shouldn't listen to him. So your proof that this review is bullshit is that he had a different opinion to you about something else. That's not proof of anything, that's just reinforcement of the fact that he doesn't share your fucking opinion on the fucking game, you fucking idiot. It doesn't mean anything, it's totally meaningless. And people brought up things like Dead Rising. Oh, well, he scored Dead Rising 1 low, but he scored Dead Rising 4 a 9 out of 10. In the review for Dead Rising 4, he acknowledges that the systems that other players like, he hates, and the fact that Dead Rising 4 removed them made the game far better for him than the ones beforehand. The sequel was better than the originals precisely because they removed the stuff that made the original games so fun to other people. What does that prove? Oh, let me try and get this again. In his subjective opinion, he didn't like the stuff that you liked, which proves that his fucking opinion is different to yours. God damn it. It's not hard. It's not difficult. Reviews as a thing have been around for fucking ages, okay? You do not need an objective review because an objective review is impossible. You do not want an objective review because it wouldn't tell you anything. Reviews are entirely down to opinion, and that's what makes them valuable. The value is not from someone agreeing with you that a game is great. The value is from people sharing their opinions on different aspects of games as to whether they enjoy them or not. Anyway, if you like that little rant, then feel free to like the video. If you want to subscribe, you can do that too. And there's a link to another video right there on the screen, and there's a link to the Patreon page if you want to look at that. But you don't have to, but it's up to you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.